This is a Dragon Blazer production. Help me. I'm being held hostage in a basement. And I'm being forced to do these podcasts with my father who needs a breath mint.
Hey!
Of movies of too much sentiment. And I'm hosting Juvenile Jurisdictions of Judgement.
Aw, this sucks.
Hello, welcome to Juvenile Jurisdiction of Judgment, a kids movie review podcast. Alright, so to start off this episode, we're going to do something a little different. I, at the beginning of the podcast, am going to ask my son Xavier what he thinks the movie we're about to watch is about. So, today's movie we're watching is Clueless, starring Alicia Silverstone. So, have you watched any trailers of Clueless, Xavier?
Nope, I'm completely clueless on the entire subject. I have no idea what the movie is.
Alright, based on the name, what do you think this movie's going to be about?
I don't know. I'm completely clueless about it.
You want to give me some kind of guess instead of telling me jokes?
Are people clueless?
You know what? That's very possible.
Whoa, spoilers! Okay, no, okay.
I don't mean to spoil it. I'm so sorry, son.
I'm trying to be clueless!
You are clueless.
Oh, yeah.
Clueless.
Oh, man, I am. Hey!
Hey! So, any more guesses? Never heard of the movie Clueless or anything?
Nope. Maybe there's a smart person in somewhere that's not clueless.
Alright. Clueless is a movie that came out in July 19th, 1995. It stars Alicia Silverstone as Cher, Stacey Dash as Diane, Brittany Murphy as Ty, and Paul Rudd as Josh. You can follow along watching Clueless with us on the platform Netflix. So go ahead and watch it and check out our review. Alright, now we have officially watched the movie Clueless. So, Xavier.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on Clueless?
I think it's an interesting movie. It's literally a huge perspective on the life of a spoiled rich girl and how she Bill Murray's her life into awesome, disciplined somehow.
And that's your thoughts on Clueless?
It's girly.
It's girly. Picked a girly one this time, huh?
It's pretty clueless.
It is. It's pretty clueless, yes. Alright. So, couple questions I want to ask you. Alright, first off, when Cher talks about how her and her best friend Diane are named after famous singers that are now doing infomercials, did you know the famous singers they were named after?
I've never heard a singer named Deanne, and I didn't even know that Cher was a name. I mean, it's probably not an American name. I don't know.
Well, Cher is named after the singer Cher, who sings stuff like, Do you believe in love after love? Have you ever heard that one?
No, I did not.
She also did a song with Sonny and Cher called I Got You, Babe.
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, that one was a Cher song. She did Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves. Don't know that one either, do you? And Diane was named after Dionne Warwick, who sings the song Say a Little Prayer for You. Have you ever heard that song?
Not at all.
That's the main song I know from Dionne Warwick. Alright, so my next question is, was there any kind of technology or fashion or anything that you don't recognize because of your age?
Oh boy. Existential crisis coming on. Okay. Any technology? I didn't really notice anything, but I mean, everyone's a jerk in the 90s, so you know.
Well, wait a minute. Right, so no technology. You didn't recognize any technology.
Nope.
So I wanted to ask you, was there any actors that you recognized from this movie? Seen them in anything else, anything like that?
There were quite a few. I didn't recognize the teacher guy from Groundhog Day. There's also another movie I've watched with him in it, but I don't remember the name of that or even what it was. I don't remember where he was in Groundhog Day. Oh wait, he was like the guy who the guy was the guy who revealed and held the groundhog.
I think you might be confusing him with Bill Murray.
No, Bill Murray was Phil Connors in that movie. The guy who revealed the thing.
Oh, okay, maybe. He's been in a lot of stuff. His name is Wallace Shawn.
Oh.
He was in... The biggest thing that you probably should recognize him for is when he said a thing called "inconceivable" in The Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
Yep. He's also in a lot of Pixar movies. Like, he's the voice of the T-Rex in Toy Story.
Oh.
He's been in a lot of... His voice is in almost every Pixar movie. Any other actors?
There's also noticed that the kid, I can't remember his name for some reason, but he was the actor for John Arbuckle in the Garfield movies.
Oh yes, Breckin Myers. His name was Travis in this movie. He was really big in the 90s. He was in a lot of teen 90s movies, and like you mentioned, John Arbuckle in Garfield.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't remember anyone else. Not really, no.
Well, there was a couple. Alicia Silverstone, obviously, is the big one, who played Cher, the main girl. She was Batgirl in the Batman and Robin movie.
I don't think I've actually watched that to the end. Awake.
Oh, that movie is absolutely terrible, and we'll probably watch it.
Nah, who cares? I watch terrible movies. I watch anime, which is pretty terrible.
Then another big one, and probably the biggest star in this movie, was Josh, who was played by Paul Rudd. Did he look familiar to you?
Not really. Kind of familiar. Right?
Well, he was a lot younger in this movie. He is well known for Ant-Man.
I don't really recognize that.
Yeah, well, he was a lot younger in this movie. And then Brittany Murphy was in this movie. She played Ty, and unfortunately she died in 2009. You probably wouldn't recognize her from too much.
That's sad.
That is sad.
Was pretty great.
All right, we're going to bring in my other child and lovely co-host, Raina. Hi, Raina. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
Just fine. Okay. Well, first we want to ask, how did you like this movie?
I liked it a lot. When I first heard of it, I wasn't that interested, and then I saw the girl in the front, and I was like, well, maybe I might like this. So I I was kind of excited to watch the movie.
Xavier said it was a very girly movie. Would you agree with his assessment?
It's not a girly movie.
A lot of the stuff about fashion and stuff, huh?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Okay. Well, was there any kind of technology that you noticed or anything different that you're not used to because you grew up in a different timeline?
Well, I saw their phones were
Okay.
of course, back then the phones were more bulky because they hadn't advanced them yet.
Well, as someone who lived in the 90s, those were the only people that had those cell phones were, rich people, because we were too poor to have anything like that. We had a landline in 95.
Yeah, I figured that. I know back then it was really hard to get a hold of phones and TVs and stuff. But of course, since the main character was really rich, or basically her dad was rich, of course she had one.
Yes.
And I also, the clothes that they wore, it was a definitely really different fashion than now.
You're going to be my new fashion guru on this show. So you noticed the fashion. What did you think about the fashion?
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad?
I thought it was really cool.
Do you think you could rock that fashion?
I don't know.
Who had your favorite outfit?
I think maybe Ty or maybe Cher. I don't know.
Did you have a favorite outfit by Cher?
The white dress that she wore with Christian.
Ah.
It was a pretty dress.
It was a pretty dress.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, the last question I was going to ask you that I asked your brother, was there anybody from this movie that you recognized?
Yeah, I recognized the teacher.
Wallace Shawn.
Yeah, and I recognized him immediately from the Princess Bride. And then when Xavier said Groundhog Day, I remembered him as Nedder? No. He was Ned. I know he was Ned. And he was like, ooh, hoo, hoo, that's a doozy. when Phil Connors stepped in the puddle every single day.
You know, I don't know if I've ever actually watched Groundhog Day all the way through.
You should watch it. It's such a good movie. We own it, so we watch it pretty much every Groundhog Day.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
That sounds like a good tradition.
Yep.
All right. Anybody else you recognized?
I recognized. I forgot his name already. I recognized the Travis dude.
Travis dude?
Yeah, I remember.
Breckenmeyer?
Yeah, I recognized him from Garfield as John Arbuckle, and I recognized Ant-Man, Paul Rudd, immediately. Like, when he went up to talk about how he had got 38 tardies, I saw his face, I was like, oh, I didn't know he was in this, but yeah, that was pretty cool.
Well, one of the people that I really enjoyed seeing, because I really like him on the show he's on, is Donald Faison, and he is on the TV show Scrubs. He plays Murray. He plays Diane's boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of a jerk in this movie a little bit, but...
Oh, I said Paul Rudd was Travis. I meant to say Paul Rudd
Oh, no, Paul
Josh.
Rudd is Josh, yeah.
He's Josh. I recognized him pretty much immediately, I think. But I don't remember when, but...
Gotcha. All right, so what was your favorite scene of this movie?
I don't know.
You don't know what your favorite scene was?
No, because I kind of just liked the movie overall. There wasn't really specific scenes, but maybe the one where Josh was doing his skateboard tricks. I don't know. Maybe that one.
Okay, so you mean Josh? You mean Travis? I believe his name was.
Yeah, I keep mixing them up.
John Arbuckle.
Yeah.
Okay. What about your least favorite scene?
Probably the one where, in the end, where Josh and Cher were kissing in the end at the wedding.
You don't like them kissing?
I think they added way too much detail. They kept it on way too long. They should have stopped within the first few seconds, but they kept going.
Okay, so this is a public service announcement from Raina that she does not want long kissing with a lot of mouth and tongue action in her movies.
Okay.
Alright, so least favorite scene is Cher and Josh kissing. Alright, well, let's get Xavier back on. Alright, same question for you, Xavier. What was your favorite scene in this movie?
My favorite scene would probably have to be the scene with Diane. Diane, like it was the same scene with Diane and her boyfriend, and Miss what's her name, Miss Entitled Rich Girl,
Cher.
Yeah, that name. All three of them discussing, hey, I think the guy you're hitting on is actually gay. Like seconds before they go to the freeway and go inches from dying about 10 times in 15 seconds.
Okay. My favorite scene was probably when she recognizes that she's in love with Josh and the fountain in the background just lights up. Like, I like the scene, I like the visuals. Like, instead of a light bulb, like the fountain lights up as soon as she realized, I'm in love with Josh.
Well, it's a good thing that she's her stepbrother, not completely blood related.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that because my least favorite scene is the fact that she gets with her stepbrother. But, alright, so what was your least favorite scene?
Okay, my least favorite scene. I have this thing that I don't really like people who are so entitled just because they have their father's credit card and they basically act accordingly at school. My least favorite scene was when she was at school and literally bribing her teachers for better grades. And just, I don't know.
I see.
She's trying to sympathize with some of the with all of the teachers just because she got a C. I don't know. I've tried my best to stay out of the F range.
Alright. Alright, Xavier, so who in this movie, Clueless, is your favorite character?
Okay. Cluelessly, I have to answer this the right and most appropriate way. Hadur. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't get bad ratings. Okay, my favorite character has to be that, the same guy who, like, voices John Arbuckle.
Breckenmeyer? Travis, I think his name is.
Travis. I never remember anyone's name. It has to be my favorite character because he's the one character who's actually, just that clumsy kid who actually doesn't give a care in the world.
Well, there's a reason that he has that characteristic. He's the guy who does weed all the time.
Oh yeah, right, but... Well, drugs aside, he's still a great character.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, so who is your least favorite character in this show?
Okay, my least favorite character. I'm gonna pull a U with the bull crap and hate on the main character here because
Cher. Share's
I will
your
not
least
share
favorite.
my RC Cola with you. Stop asking me. Dang it. Oh, you mean character.
Yes, I mean the character Cher. It's spelled with a CH, not a SH.
Yeah, I will stay away from my cola.
I will do my best. I will try to fight my urges.
It's delicious. Okay. It's a little stale, though. She's a rich girl, which I guess on its own isn't really that bad because that's just being stereotypical. But the real stereotype is when you're basically born, you don't work for any money, your parents just like, here, take a $50 bill. Now go to the mall and get on my skin. Those kind of parents are kind of terrible parents.
All right.
I mean, I hate Cher in general because like she's old enough to know how the world works, and I don't know. She's like gross. Yeah.
Okay, so you sure you like this movie?
I like the movie. Yeah, it was a good movie, except the parts that I don't like the movie.
All right. Well, let's get my beautiful daughter in here. All right, Raina. So, who was your favorite character in this movie?
My favorite character was probably either Ty or Travis or Josh. I can't pick one.
Ty, Travis, or Josh?
Yeah.
That's a big list.
Yep.
Can we narrow it down to one of them? Ant-Man, John Arbuckle.
Ant-Man, Josh.
Ant-Man, Josh.
Yes. Why
is Josh your favorite?
Because he's really nice. And he doesn't do weed. Yeah.
Bold choice.
Yep.
Doesn't do weed. He's very nice. That's your favorite.
Yep.
All right. So who is your least favorite character?
My least favorite character...
Was it Travis because he does weed?
No. Who is that one girl that Cher really didn't like at school? She had the really weird hair with the, bonnet.
Was it Amber, maybe?
Yes. She was my least favorite.
She's your least favorite? She's a butthead?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, the next portion of the show, we are going to talk about some IMDb trivia that I read that I found interesting.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So... Alright, so the first thing I found interesting is this movie is actually based on a Jane Austen novel called Emma. Amy Heckerling was asked by Paramount to write a film for teenagers, and she instantly remembered the novel she read as a teenager. Plots, characters, and themes and values are all based on that novel. The other thing I found interesting is that Alicia Silverstone, who played Cher, actually did not know how to correctly pronounce Haitians in the classroom scene. Director Amy Heckerling told the crew not to correct her because she liked it so much and wanted it to be in the film.
How'd she pronounce it?
Haitians, or I don't really remember, but I found that interesting that they actually just kept in she couldn't say it properly.
I think she said Haitians. I think I remember her saying Haitians.
All right. So, well, now comes to the portion of the show where you tell me what report card grade would you give this movie. So, Raina, what is your grade?
My grade is a B.
A B.
Just a B.
You're going to give this a B.
Yeah.
So this is your least favorite movie of the ones we've watched so far, huh?
Not really. Just because I give it a low grade doesn't mean it's it's the worst out of all of them.
Well, compared to the other grades you gave, this is your lowest grade, I believe.
Yeah, but it's not my least favorite. Well, we watched Bedazzled.
Bedazzled and Drop Dead Fred.
I probably liked it a little bit. I probably liked it even with Bedazzled.
Even?
But that doesn't necessarily mean that the grades have to mean that it's my favorite or not. It's just the content. But I liked it. I liked it a lot.
All right. Well, let's ask your brother.
Okay.
Okay, Xavier. Yes. What letter grade would you give Clueless?
Oh boy. And I'm half tempted to give it a C, just as a joke, but I'm going to give it a C+.
C+.
Yeah.
All right. Personally, I would give this movie C+. It's an entertaining movie. It's not a masterpiece by no means, but it was enjoyable, funny.
Yeah.
Entertaining movie.
It's not as good as the other two, I'll admit. It's
probably not your style, huh?
It's not really in the whole. It's not trying to be the right type of humorous that the other two movies have, and the other two movies have the kind of humor that I really like. This movie's really interesting with its story, and it's supposed to be a story of story development, which is pretty cool. Just like, the Bill Murray movies, ones where Bill Murray's the main character. Basically, he's a jerk in the beginning, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Yes, a timeless plot.
Yes.
Someone crappy kind of becomes better.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he becomes the angel that everybody loves, or the angel that everyone thinks is creepy.
All right, so we have a new segment where we're going to see how much people agree with you or disagree.
Huh.
So, here's the critics' consensus from Rotten Tomatoes on Clueless. The audience score is a 76%.
Huh.
The tomato meter is 80%, so it is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. And here's a couple of the top reviews, critic reviews for Clueless. First one from Gene Siskel. He gave it a 3 out of 4 and said, "I was surprised at how much I enjoyed Clueless." Another reviewer, Owen Gleiberman from Entertainment Weekly, said, "There's such a gaping discontinuity between her physical beauty and her vacant, gum-snapping personality that she's like a walking advertisement for everything that's right and wrong for America."
Well, thank you.
And he gave the rating a C+. So that's what people thought of Clueless. One's a positive and the other one's more negative review of it. For the next episode of Juvenile Jurisdiction of Judgment, we are going to be watching the classic Home Alone for the next episode. You can watch along on HBO Max. Alright. Well, that is all we have left of the review of Clueless. Zaire, what do you want to tell everybody?
Goodbye, everybody. I'll remember you all in therapy.
That's good. Alright, Raina, tell everybody goodbye for me.
Goodbye for me.
Goodbye for me. Alright, well, that's the end of our show. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and goodbye.